Powers of X issue 2 sees Charles and Moira go to Island M, meeting with Magneto, who isn't happy to see Xavier on his X-Men free island. Charles has come to tell Eric that both their dreams for mutantdom have been wrong, making Eric wonder if there is something wrong with Charles, and maybe Moira should have him looked at. Charles implores Eric to open his mind to him, and they can figure out it together. So reluctantly, Eric touches Moira, who has her memories of Eric's many lives projected into his mind by Xavier. Moira reassures him that she is indeed a mutant and those failures of his were real. Charles tells him that he was shown them because apart they always lose, but together they will survive. But Eric wants more than just survival, and so does Moira, saying she intends to have mutantdom not just survive, but thrive. After Eric lays down his terms and Charles accepts, the two former friends join forces. 10 years later, Cyclops is shown plans for the Mother Mold, a master mold that makes other master molds in orbit around the sun. Xavier says construction has been completed of the molds and it's being in a dormant phase until a catalyst awakens it, that catalyst being a mutant whose reach has exceeded his grasp. Magneto says that Orchis, a collection of shield, aim, sword, and hammer operators and scientists, want to use it to stop the mutants, and they have activated the mold. Scott wonders what their plan is, and Xavier says that they can't be allowed to bring the mold fully online. Eric notes that the scale of their resources implies a paradigm shift in technology, and they are making next-gen Sentinels. Scott wonders what more they could improve on the killing machines, and Xavier says that this is where NIMROD comes online, which means they need to be stopped at all costs. Despite the operation being millions of miles away from Earth in space, Scott says that he will deal with them. 100 years in the future on asteroid K, Wolverine approaches his boss, Apocalypse, telling him Rasputin and Cardinal succeeded in their mission and got the data they need, but Silabel and Percival were killed, and without Percival's blackout powers, Logan isn't sure that they can get back into the city. Cardinal hands it over to Apocalypse, who laments how in their essence, machines are just comprised of pure information, and how for this tiny bit, he would have sacrificed them all. In Nimrod's tower, the being learns the mutants stole the indexing machine. He tires of the lies and insolence of his human subordinates, killing the two of them in his service as he looks over recordings of the mutants stealing the program, wondering what exactly they are looking for amongst the data. On asteroid K, the mutants look over the data, which thanks to how machines archive everything, is like finding a needle in a haystack. Krakoa, using the body of Zorn, can hopefully use the data they stole to decrypt the indexing program to help them. The device is unlocked in an instant and the information is presented to them, but Logan says there isn't going to be anyone left to use the said information, and they only succeeded because of Percival's powers, and now they don't have that to protect them. Logan says that they will need to hold off the machines for as long as they can for the others to find a way out, and Zorn is more than happy with a suicide mission as Apocalypse promises that they will survive to take what they have needed and return, as he will lead the team. 1,000 years into the future, Nimrod and the Librarian watch as a universal predator has arrived on the world in response to Nimbus being replicated into a world mind. The predator consumes the city and a small black wisp comes to the Librarian, telling him that it ate its world mind. The being, called Phalanx, says that they have heard the Librarian's message and wants to know what it wants, which the Librarian answers with Ascension. Powers of X issue 2 was another brilliant issue that further ties this book into its brother series House of X. I love the build up to seeing how Charles erected Krakoa with Magneto and Moira and probably other people in the next issue, and why they're doing it, and also through this issue the Machine Mutant War, which is really cool. It also contains some surprising additions to the teams, like Apocalypse being a pretty good mutant, which is kind of spoiled by the solicitations, but it was cool seeing him being kind of like the leader of the mutants in the future. I just love the grand scale of this book, with things like the world mind and master molds building giant sentinels and stuff like that. It makes for an exciting read, which is what X-Men should be. I'm going to give this issue a 9.5 out of 10.